without any warning. Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning.
Nothing works. Nothing works. All right. Okay.
pretty baby, what's your name? What's your number? I'm about to talk to you. Get your phone ready. So you say you're looking for a real man who can take you out to see other lands, other lands. Somebody who can feed you lobster and shrimp every day of the week. Cause the bread is thick and money is no ish when you're filthy rich. Wanna know?
All right, welcome back to the bowels of the internet where I cannot get anything to work. Hence the fuzzy screen, hence the vibe. All right, but we're going to pick the vibe up. A lot of issues last week, hand up. A lot of issues this week, okay? The camera's not working. You would think we could be Cashin with Cam with a decent camera, but here we are in Glitchville. So this is a true podcast, all right? This is true radio that we're going to be embarking on today as I gigabyte my way through this one. I think it's time. I think I've got to get somebody who I need a AV guy. All right, I need an AV guy. I need someone devoted to production, devoted to quality, because really with the 12 to 15 people that are in this every week, I feel like I'm letting you down on the AV side. Okay? Hand up on that. Look, I can't stand looking at myself in this camera either, let alone a high quality, a high def. But we need the high def. We can't even see the ghost. Look at that. Am I going the right way? We can't even see the ghost this episode because your boy is so freaking burly. Like the video, please. Just like it. And, maybe your likes will go to a home less fortunate, such as mine. Maybe I'll be able to get some kind of camera or maybe a laptop from this decade. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need a laptop from the 2020s. COVID was rough on all of us. I think not rougher on anything as much as it was my laptop software. I did not update my laptop for years. Some say months. I say years since I updated this bad boy. And it is going through hell right now. All of the things I'm trying to get it to do, it can't. No amount of motivational speech, no amount of get your ass in gear can get this computer where it needs to be. And that's just objectively what it is, okay? So we're sitting here in the early 2000s on a Zoom call tonight, okay? And that's just going to be what it is, all right? I can't apologize, but I do hope you empathize. I do need some more sponsors. Shouts to McCurley of the Lawn Dogs. Yeah, I think, Sam, as much as we gave Sam some flack last year, he did a terrific job getting it all set up and making sure when crises happened, they were for the most part averted. Now, he did forget his charger. That one episode, may we never forget, when he did that. And we just stopped. I think we had 80 people in the stream. No joke. We have 25 right now, which is pretty big time for this season, okay? Everyone stay locked in. I'm gonna get away from my sorrows on the AV stuff, but just know it's in the works. It's in my thoughts and my prayers, honestly, to figure this out. Okay, figure this out for the Cashin fam. Figure this out for the greater good. We got a long season this year. College football is gonna last forever this year, it seems. And there's culprit one, Mulvey Hill. I kind of need your laptop, brother. We need to start doing this thing together, pal, because I'm in the throes of hell, audio, video-wise. Sam will never be forgiven for what he did. I agree, McCurley. Aham shouts. Dean shouts. E-Dog shouts. Reed shouts. McCurley already shouts. Mulvey shouts for being here. I do have my phone this time, though. A rare occurrence for the show. I'm oftentimes not able to access my phone since it's being used as my camera. And for that reason, maybe I'll be a little quicker on the draw tonight. Maybe I'll be a little quicker on the draw. While we've got 21 folks in here, I'm going to go ahead and get into the rankings for you all. So, as an adult, all right, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, maybe you have a dog, maybe you're just pressed for time, maybe you got a busy life, a busy schedule. What do we do for dinner? All right, what do we do? Young Big Ticket's in here, yes. What do we do for dinner when we do not have anything planned? We're not going to go out, eating out's expensive these days. We're going to stay in. What do we have that we can access here? I'm trying to join the Patreon. I should start a Patreon, Dean. Thanks. The answer is breakfast for dinner. We've all done it. God, do I do it. I'm sure you do as well. A good breakfast for dinner can reset the week. It can send you into a little bit of a, what's Huberman say? It's all about the time clock in your head, right? Maybe you don't get good sleep that night. You think it's morning time. You're eating breakfast. But we all do it, right? We eat breakfast for dinner. And so I thought, since I was throwing this list together at the last minute, hand up, as I do most weeks, I'm going to rank breakfast foods. And here we are with breakfast foods. And breakfast for dinner should be built into the weekly diet. And I think it is for most. Now, Costco Nugs is a great call there. Oftentimes a quick dinner or an easy lunch meal prep. Yes, quick. Deli meat, cheese, and crackers, a little adult lunchable. I respect that as well. But anyway, into my breakfast rankings here. All right, and we stuck with food. We can't divert from food. It just, everyone, it's hot in the streets to talk about food on the show, and I'm here for it. I wouldn't expect anything else from the Cashin with Cam fan base, if we're being honest. So, at 1, can everyone see this? I'm just going to make it huge. Huge. At 1, I've got the king, okay? I've got the one that is honestly undisputed. And it's versatile. It's more versatile, not just breakfast, right? But we got eggs, okay? Eggs is they're probably one of the 4 horsemen of food in general, if you ask me. Eggs could go, you got steak and eggs. You got your regular all-star special at Waffle House. You've got the Grand Slam at Denny's. You've got the Mama's Country Breakfast at Cracker Barrel. You've got the, what does Huddle House do? Huddle House has one. Anyway, what do they all have? They all have eggs, okay? Eggs are special. Now, and there's been times for dinner I'll just eat eggs. I'll just eat a bunch of eggs. Down the hatch, scramble them, fry them, smoothie them. Eggs are most versatile and are required, but not the star of the show, if we're being honest. Now, that is true, but if you're going for sweet, the eggs is your, all right, I ate all those pancakes, but I had some eggs. I got the protein in. I got the sustenance that I needed out of these eggs. I get that eggs are the most versatile. I mean, no one can dispute that. But I also get, hey, you know what you're getting with eggs. Eggs are going to taste the same just about everywhere, all right, for being honest. But, I mean, think about deviled eggs, too, which we'll get into next week for Thanksgiving. I mean, you're telling me a devil Deviled these eggs. Two, I got pancakes. Now, this one is going to be controversial, okay? There's waffle people out there. The thing about waffles to me, okay, are they delicious? Yes. I thought we were going top 5 boy dinners. I have been ripping a boy dinner this week, which is just taco meat, eggs, and Taco Bell hot sauce. If you don't know now, you know. Go ahead and give that a rip. Swap biscuits and pancakes on the list. I didn't know biscuits would be that hot of a topic. Ethan's got biscuits at 1. But yeah, Spencer, swap biscuits and pancakes on this list. That's fair. Hash browns do deserve a mention. I do love hash browns. You can mess up hash browns, though, in my opinion. I think that pancakes don't belong on this list. Oh, my. Have you been to Cracker Barrel recently? Have you been to Big Bad Breakfast in Oxford? I'll even give an Oxford shout. When you get a good stack of pancakes, I can't think of much better than a good stack of pancakes, if we're being brutally honest. The syrup soaking mechanism that is pancakes, I think takes it far and above waffles. I laughed, Luke. I know you can't comment, but eggs are superfood. Yes, they do at times make nasty flatulence. Yes, carnivore cam. Yes. No one went to the Jackson Cracker Barrel. Stop that. Biscuits top 3 for sure. Yeah, I mean a biscuit sandwich, right? You got your jellies, you got your jams, and you got your gravy. Hey, shout out to biscuits. What a run they're on in this chat. I'm here for it. Honestly, I thought about putting biscuits higher, but I thought I would get flack, and I'm really getting flack for the pancakes here. At one point in my young childhood, which will not surprise anyone, my grandmother once asked me as a young lad, "How many more pancakes do you want?" And I quaintly responded, "How many do you got?" And that's how I feel about pancakes. Bacon, right? I mean, bacon. I thought about doing bacon/sausage, but I thought that was kind of a coward move because it is a controversial topic, bacon or sausage. So I didn't link them together because I knew that you gotta pick a side, all right? And I'm going bacon. Now the question is, okay, crispy or how do you describe, like, it's not undercooked, but it's like a little tender bacon. I personally am a tender bacon guy. Okay, I like a little bite to my bacon. Okay, I like a little bit of je ne sais quoi on my bacon. I like for it to give me a little resistance. Okay, everyone's on crispy. Pop-Tarts, Jay Wood with the wild take of Pop-Tarts. All right. I can see I've run into a crispy crowd. Now, maybe I just like thick cut bacon more than what I'm saying on the other thing. Maybe I don't know how to describe my taste for bacon. Let's see. Not a breakfast sausage guy. Thick and crispy is top tier. Yeah, thick is, I guess, what I was alluding to. So, yeah, I'll leave it at thick. 2 C's, thick bacon. Jay Wood, what kind of Pop-Tart are we going for? I know back in my day, I was a s'mores Pop-Tart guy. I did like the berries. I liked strawberry. I liked blueberry. I know that one's a little bit controversial. A lot of people were on the brown sugar cinnamon Pop Tarts, and although they're good, okay, they're good. I just don't think I would put the brown sugar cinnamon in the top tier. See, I knew Reed would say that. Reed is a 8 p.m. bedtime guy. He's he's a pot of coffee guy. He's a brown sugar cinnamon guy. You don't want any sprinkles. You don't want any colorful, you don't want any life to your Pop Tart. You want the brown sugar cinnamon. S'mores is top 5, but can't outdo cookies and cream. You know which Pop Tart I really enjoyed that had to be so bad for you? Was the hot fudge sundae Pop Tart. A little runny on the inside. You get that little sugar yolk out of that hot fudge Pop Tart. That was it. And that was so bad for you. 100%. That's what RFK is here to defeat. 2 honey buns, 8 seconds in the microwave. I mean, a honey bun is elite. Some would say cinnamon roll at least deserves to be mentioned here. Cinnamon roll is just such a every once in a while type thing, right? A cinnamon roll is not thought of with the big boys, with the eggs, with the bacon, with the pancakes. Really, no comment here on the French toast. I figured I would get absolutely blasted for French toast. I feel like French toast is a contentious item for most. For me, with French toast, you're just able to dress it up in a way. You could make French toast really do anything for you. I had 5 cinnamon rolls this Sunday morning. Absolute bulking season. Work Danish is solid. Toaster strudel, always gas the toaster strudel. I think toaster strudel really got out of their lane when they started putting eggs and sausage in it. Just keep it sweet, baby. You don't need to mess around with the real stuff, all right? We're looking for icing. We're not looking for sausage, okay? Brown donut's fair. The thing about donuts, they make me tummy hurt, okay? They send me to the hurt locker in really most circumstances. There are days where they won't hit me as hard, but God, does a donut just make me freaking lose it, bowel-wise. French toast is good when they do it right. That's it. Your best French toast is beating your best waffle. Fair? Your best French toast is beating your best waffle. Now, if we were doing specific items, okay, McGriddle would go 1 for me. McGriddle would go 1. And if you hate McGriddles, check yourself at the door. Go get a McGriddle, a bacon one, of course, and just see where you stand now. Okay, the first time you tried it, you probably were using fluoride toothpaste. Your third eye wasn't open. Go try the McGriddle now and tell me what you think with the crispy hash brown, with the spicy Coke. Get after that. At number 2, for my all-time breakfast items, I didn't plan to do this. I'd probably have to go the AM Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell. AM Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell. The quesadilla sauce or whatever it is in that thing is phenomenal. At 3. At 3, I'm going to go the pancakes at Cracker Barrel. Pancakes at Cracker Barrel. At 4, I will go the Cronut. The Cronut, which is a croissant donut, for those unaware, from Aha Donuts in Pearl. Oh, my Lord. What a donut that is. What a donut that is. And then at 5, it would be the honey butter chicken biscuit with, big qualifier, with the jalapeno biscuit. And if you've never had that, we got to make sure you get there and get that before World War III. Before the aliens come from the ocean, we're going to need you to get the honey butter chicken biscuit on jalapeno. Okay. I do enjoy an apple fritter. I enjoy and this is a wild take, a bear claw. If you've never had a bear claw, preferably from Donut Palace. It's just an odd looking foot with apple pie filling. So, real tough way to start your morning, but God, is it delicious. Thank you, McCurley, for the Crunchwrap validation. Mobile says breakfast burritos are up there. Could eat one every day, but they're hard to find. So, Mulvey, I had the Wendy's breakfast burrito not long ago. And it was fine. I think they put mayo in it as like a hollandaise sauce situation. And I don't really know how I felt about it. I love Wendy's mayo. Look, I've argued for Wendy's mayo in an office setting. I mean, I'm a Wendy's mayo believer. I'm not sure I want it just fully in my breakfast burrito, like fully in my face in my breakfast burrito. I don't know if that was an appropriate ad by Wendy's there, if we're being honest. But a decent breakfast burrito. I think Sonic's probably got the best breakfast burrito out there right now. Let's see what else. For some reason, I don't see the honey butter chicken biscuit as a breakfast because I only have it at night. Yeah, it's a late night, few beers, a snack for sure. Milkshakes for breakfast. Luke, solid callback there. Morning beers at the beach. Outstanding breakfast. Sets the tone. Gets you there pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry. 8 Bloody Marys. I'm not a Bloody Mary guy. Although it's probably, for those that enjoy a Bloody Mary, I could see that being, a good way to find some sustenance in your day, with the, what do they put on Bloody Marys? God, they put everything. They put green beans. They put okra. They put crawfish. I've seen biscuits on Bloody Marys. I mean, good God, the list goes on and on. Maybe they should stop tampering with the Bloody Marys as much as they do. It's just tomato juice, right? I don't know. Mayo is nasty work by Wendy's on a breakfast burrito. Let's just be honest. Big Wendy's mayo guy. All right, but God, no, I can't do that on a breakfast burrito. Don't disrespect the Sonic burrito. Hey, we're caught up. I'm a big Sonic breakfast burrito guy. Okay. Let's see. Dakota, you can turn it off. It's all good. Don't keep it up. It's fine. Turn it off. I don't know who the crew is, but I don't want them watching. Bloody Marys are indeed ass. Thank you, Hag. Sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Yes. If you can't get the bacon, sausage is there. Okay. 601-706-9771 to call into the show. Give your breakfast takes. I don't know how many more we're doing this year, especially since I can't get my camera to work. It is what it is. I would love to argue breakfast items with you, though, or just agree with you on breakfast items. Why don't you give the show a call? 601-706-9771. I think I fixed it. Did you guys hear the music before the show? If that was the case, then I think I fixed the whole deal. So we should be good. Yeah, if you haven't already, like the video. 601-706-9771 to call into the show. This is a sure enough podcast we're in right now. Okay, the camera is ass. They have steak, egg, and cheese McGriddles now. Oh God, we're in trouble now. When they had the chicken biscuits at McDonald's, all right, this is a real big boy thing I did. I got the chicken, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Holy God. Was that a piece of work? God, that was so good. 601-706-9771. Someone call into the show right now. Do it right now. I'll wait. Yeah. I just alphaed everybody as a call comes in. Although I can't hear it. Is it ringing? Uh-oh. We might be in trouble. Oh, there it goes. You're on Cashin.
Cameron,
What's up?
how's it going?
What's up, brother?
How's your evening been?
Oh, man. If I talked more about breakfast, it would be morning time, pal.
I'm looking at this list. Sorry, I had to tune in a little late.
Yeah.
Pretty solid list. Good job.
Man.
No waffles, kind of whack. No hash browns, kind of whack.
So the waffles thing to me, and I made this point. I don't know when you tuned into the program.
They're pancakes. I already know it's coming.
Well, so the thing about waffle, and it would have probably gone in the French toast slot, but the best French toast you've ever had, right, is better than the best waffle you've ever had. Yay or nay?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
But I'm averaging that, like, in my opinion, like, because the French toast sticks could be on there. Those go hard.
Oh, they do. The Sonic, we were talking about Sonic. The Sonic French toast sticks are diabolically good.
Yeah, definitely get behind that. So, I mean, and like a nice Mickey D. It doesn't have to be Mickey D's hash brown, but a nice like patty style hash brown is one of my all-time faves.
Yeah, yeah. I do love the already formed hash browns. I can do the Waffle House hash browns, but something about the no dipability of the Waffle House hash browns, you just kind of got to make a mess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got to like put the ketchup on them or like put it off the side and then like scoop them into the ketchup.
Yeah,
like
it's just kind of gross. It's just kind of gross. I massacre my plate at Waffle House to get ketchup on those guys.
But I think it's a worthwhile massacre.
It is. I mean, you got to have it. Yeah, you got to have it, especially if you get them covered and chunked. You're going to need that.
Yes, you will. The Chick-fil-A hash browns go hard. I think they're a nice mix of portability, bite-sizability, and their forms.
Let's see. Where are we at on the chat, just so we can all stay informed here?
Yeah.
They need to bring all-day breakfast back at Don's. I agree. Tried to get a McGriddle at 11 the other day. No go. Infuriating. Yeah, I would have the same response.
Ashley Yonker says your fantasy team sucks. Dang.
You know, I don't think Ashley's in our league. I don't know. You can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in.
A classic.
You know
That's a
what I
classic
mean?
reference.
You know what I mean? What does Mulvey say? Sonics are good, hella greasy but good. Second that, Mulvey, a burrito, and French toast pair. Now that would be a solid. Would we stuff the Sonic French toast sticks into a burrito? Would that be too far?
That would be crazy.
That would be insane, but it might work. The amount of carbs that you're involving in that situation. Insane.
Immense. Absolutely immense. Cam, you know what I wanted to talk about, though, since this is a sports show after all?
Sure, we can talk about sports. That's fine.
CFB, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know where those Rebs are at? Tell me what number they're at. Tell me.
Pull it up here. The Rebs are at the 10 slot.
On not the AP poll.
No, so they're ninth, but they're in the 10 slot because of Boise State.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
So, So now they've got it projected to where the Big 12 winner will not be one of the first four seeds. So the Power 5 conference champion that they put in is projected to be the fourth seed now and get the automatic bye, which is kind of tough for everybody involved, really.
Yeah, it's a hard precedent to set. Also, I guess because Miami's got the ACC, Oregon's got the Big Ten.
Right.
They're assuming Texas will win the SEC championship, which is definitely not a guarantee.
True. I guess, yeah. I mean, obviously, the Rebels win against Georgia is the sole, and the roster is, I guess they're just going off of wins at this point because everyone's got the same amount of losses. Is that right?
Yeah, and like they're saying, like strength of schedule and like strength of wins and strength of like they said all this different shit and like the precedent. It's weird. Like I don't envy their position, the committee's position, right? Because it's tough.
Yeah. I thought losses would be more of an important thing, and it doesn't seem to really factor. Not to hate on the Rebs, but it doesn't seem like a factor because they have objectively two worse losses than Tennessee.
Yeah, that is true.
But they did beat Georgia and Tennessee didn't. So I mean,
right.
They're going off of wins, which is very advantageous for the Rebs.
Yeah, and the legacy, right? Like you winning a Georgia game versus winning somebody else, a Texas A&M game or a South Carolina game.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
And you got to think Ole Miss beat Arkansas, and that is Tennessee's other loss. So I can understand where the committee's coming from with that. I think the big thing will be, and there's a chance that this happens if Indiana just gets boat raced by Ohio State, right?
They're out.
And they're out. I mean, you would think Tennessee gets in, and then really all these SEC teams have to do is win the last two games on their schedule, and they're all in, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and a lot of them are going to play chumps at the beginning, on the first round. Like, did you look when this got announced, the Vegas odds for Alabama, Notre Dame, Georgia, Penn State, Ole Miss, Indiana, all the SEC teams are favored with.
They'll all be touchdown over a touchdown favorite in most of those, I would think.
They weren't actually. I mean, they were close. A lot of the Georgia one was over a touchdown, I believe. But the Ole Miss was 1.5, and Alabama was right around the same.
Oh, I mean, Ole Miss would destroy Indiana, which I haven't watched a lot of Indiana. Maybe they're just better, but you would think Ole Miss just has way too many players for Indiana to stay in the game.
Right. I mean, it would be a lot of what happened with Penn State last year.
Yeah.
In the Peach Bowl.
Well, Penn State is just an all-around poopy diaper program.
Yeah, James Franklin is just absolute buns.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to win ever with him, I don't think.
Miami getting a bad criminal from Matt. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Miami, I mean,
there's nothing you can do about it. There's really nothing you can do about that.
Conference champion.
The conference champion thing, should they have done it that way? I think so right now. Now, when conferences get eliminated, right, and they're no longer a thing, I don't think that obviously that doesn't need to be there. It won't be there. But I think right now to keep the conference stuff relevant, I think you got to do it this way. Now, the Big 12 should be pretty embarrassed just by everything going on with the Big 12, including the Buffs, including BYU, and Iowa State. I mean, there's a chance Colorado loses to Kansas this weekend, and then that.
I hope they do.
Yeah, and
I just don't want to hear about Dion in Colorado.
I think there's a lot of people in this chat that hope they lose. We'll see what Big Ticket says. I'm sure he'll call in after you.
After I bring up the Buffs.
But
the fact that they're getting press coverage they have a 20-30% chance to make it, I'm like, please just stop talking about it.
Yeah. But I think I'm encouraged by Ole Miss staying in there, honestly, just for the SEC's sake, because we know this is how it's going to be every year. All the SEC teams are going to beat up on each other. There's going to be some wild games. And, I mean, they deserve to be in there. And I really do think it's more than just wins and losses. I think it's a lot to do with roster. As we saw last year, it's a lot to do with quarterback and head coach, really.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's necessarily fair, but that's the way they're doing it. It's about marketability too, right?
Right, it's a business at the end of the day, and you can't treat it like the NFL where wins mean the same thing as the NFL, because in the NFL everybody plays everybody, right, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, it was never going to be perfect. I could have told you Bama was going to find a way in. They're not getting out. If Bama goes to the conference championship game and loses by $1 billion, they're still in. I mean, that's
what's going to be interesting. I saw some of the sports people talking about this. Like, whoever loses the SEC championship, depends on how they do it, could be out, which is insane.
I don't think if it's Bama or Georgia and they go and lose, I think they'll stay in. But I don't know. I think a big one to watch this weekend is going to be obviously Indiana, Ohio State. That could decide a lot. And then another one is Notre Dame, Army. The real question being, if Army wins, do they actually get in? That would be the question. Now, if they do get in, I think, now I don't know for sure, I think that would put them in the spot of Boise State, because they are a G5 conference. They would obviously have to go on and win the American Conference, but I would think they would put the American Conference champion in there before the Mountain West. I don't know, though. It seems weird that they've kept Boise State there all year with the one loss early to Oregon. It was a pretty close game, but yeah, this is certainly not done. But I do think Ole Miss remains in there. Texas will obviously remain in there, and Bama. I think Georgia and Tennessee might swap, or they might all get in. I don't know.
There's been some chatter that if Texas loses the A&M game, that they're just not going to make it.
So that would be Texas losing to Georgia and A&M?
Right, because they lost to the only two real teams that they played all season.
I don't think Texas is that good, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I would agree. Their strength of schedule is kind of buns, right? And the only team they played was Georgia, and they got kind of smacked.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Ewers is all that great. I think if I was Sark, I would probably play Arch, honestly. But, yeah, I think and it would be wild if A&M's up in that game and they throw Arch in there and then Arch comes back. I think that would be a definite, like, if Sark shows he's going to play Arch, I guarantee Texas gets in somehow. They want Arch Manning.
Yeah, because
they want Arch Manning, and that's so bad. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, the Indiana-Ohio State game. So they got Indiana at what, 8 right now? I can't tell from my thing.
Well, I guess they're the 7th seed. I don't know what their rank is.
Yeah. So I mean, if they just get boat raced, they'll be out, I guess. But they'll only have one loss, and they'll probably they wouldn't play for the Big Ten championship. So that might actually hurt everyone's cause if they put them in with the one loss, because they won't really have to play their way in. Last question I'll pose to you here. Are we at all worried about the Gators and Lagway this weekend?
Yeah, I kind of am.
So I had Florida last week, not to brag. And I was pretty confident. I was pretty confident in that one. I think LSU has all but quit on Brian Kelly.
You mean the murderer?
Yeah, the executor.
Thank you.
I think LSU's all but quit on him. I think they're going to be playing for transferability at this point, the LSU players. And I think Florida committed to Napier, and the boys were buzzing. They came out and played. The defense looked really good. And Lagway is serviceable. Obviously, you've got the better quarterback. You've got the better weapons. But if Florida's defense plays like they did against LSU, which Nussmeier is not the same as Dart and the Ole Miss offense, but if Florida's defensive line can do just anything, as we saw, that gives Ole Miss some trouble.
Yeah, Ole Miss defense is also a lot better than LSU's.
It's true. It's true.
And I was looking at some interesting stats. Lagway is like number 2 in like yards of like plays that are greater than 20 yards for completions, like some crazy stat, but he's like super inconsistent, right?
Well, he's a freshman, I think the swamp will be a factor. But I do think Ole Miss wins the game, and I think they probably win by 2 or 3 scores. The line right now is 10. And I think Vegas wants you to hammer Florida with the recency bias off of beating LSU. I think they know everyone will be on Florida. And so I think they know something that we don't know just matchup-wise. So I think, as much as it seems like a trap for Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss gets it done. And it pains me to say. But I think Ole Miss gets it done in a big way, honestly. I think it'll be kind of a track meet, but we'll see.
I mean, with the way our defense is playing, hopefully it's not a track meet. They get to Lagway like they got the back.
Off of a bye, I could see Florida just jumping on that ass.
That's fair.
And then Ole Miss just crawling, well, not even crawling back, just doing their 3-play drives and scoring instantly.
Yeah.
But I think
and Charles allegedly should be back as wide receiver of the country.
Yeah. I think they'll run wide open a few times, and I think Florida will their scripted plays will get them a couple of touchdowns early, and we'll see. But Florida is coming off a terrible stretch of games, probably one of the hardest stretch of games that you'll see this year. LSU last week. I believe they had Texas the week before that, Tennessee the week before that, and Georgia the week before that, and now Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So really one of the hardest schedules to play back to back to back to back like that. So they might be a little beat up. And with the line being what it is, I think they anticipate the public just hammering Florida at 10.5. So I like the Rebs. I do.
I do too. Alex saying if Army wins, they have to put them in. I'm with you on that. Hopefully they kick out Notre Dame and replace them with Army. That'll make me feel better.
The thing is with Army, Navy was undefeated to start the year. Navy's not bad. And, I mean, that's a classic rivalry game. I could see Army being right there and Navy, winning a 7-3 game against Army. During Army Navy.
It absolutely just impressive.
Yeah, just slobber knocker of a game. I could see that. And then what would happen then? I don't know. Do they still put Notre Dame in? I don't know. I don't think Notre Dame's going to lose to them, though. I hate to say it.
I mean, for as much as that pains me, yeah, probably.
Notre Dame objectively has the worst loss in the country, though. So.
Oh my God, it's heinous.
At home.
On top of that, yeah.
So.
There's a kid from my high school who's the punter, or was a punter at NIU. That's funny. He's gone now, but.
Yeah. All right, Jack. Appreciate you calling in, brother. Did you already leave?
No problem.
Oh, okay.
No. I was letting you finish your thought there.
All right, pal. Godspeed to the Rebs.
Godspeed to the Rebs. Oh, last thing. Somebody put the state tickets on the swap shop today for $100. I was like, who would pay $100 for that? Hell no.
Parking passes hold a lot of weight. I'll say that.
That's fair, but you couldn't pay me to go watch an MSU game, regardless of me being an Ole Miss fan.
Easy, pal. This might be our only SEC win of the year against a ranked opponent. It's going to be an electric atmosphere.
Who are you guys even playing? Even
Mizzou.
Are they still ranked after their loss?
Mizzou is 24. Yeah, they're 24.
No, they're not. Sorry, this is from the AP poll this week. They're out.
I don't know. That's just what the ESPN app shows.
Yeah, well, ESPN is bad. Maybe that's the coaches poll they're showing. I don't know.
Yeah, my ESPN app has them at 23rd.
That's what they were when they played in South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina was ranked, so I don't know. We're a touchdown and a half dog, so.
I think they could pull it out. I love anytime anybody beats Mizzou, so.
We'll see. I don't have high expectations, but it could happen.
Are you going?
No, not going. I've spent enough money on them this year.
Fair enough. Well, sounds good, brother man.
All right, dude. See you later.
All right. Bye, Kim.
That was Jack, all things college football. And I missed a call, so I'll call them back right now.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oh my God.
The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please.
That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Oh well. Call back. Let's see. Buffs impressed Alex. He gave them their flowers this week. They've not defeated a top 25 opponent. Yes. If Army wins, they have to put them in. I think if they win the American Conference, they would have to put them in. I don't know. I think that's got to hold more weight than the Mountain West, no? I'm trying to think of all the teams that are in the American Conference. Like it's Memphis. Oh, Big Ticket was trying to call. Okay. Here we go. Gotta collect myself for this call. Big Ticket, I presume?
Hey, what's good, Slime?
What's happening, Slat?
I'm sorry about that. You know I got Do Not Disturb on when I'm watching Cashin.
Oh, that's my boy right there. Let's go, Big
That's
Ticket.
what I had.
YBT.
Nothing from the outside world. YBT
Let's go.
is, yeah.
YNBT.
Hey, well, I wasn't going to say that, but if you know, you know.
That's
anyway, I'm going to try to keep, my obnoxious levels to a little bit lower today because my boy Alex, fellow Nashville native,
This is
saying nice things about
I'm
the Bucs.
showing your flag on the stream right now. The Big Ticket.
Yes,
He's got the Colorado
evening.
flag flying at his home.
Yes, I have a 20-foot flagpole in my yard. I just got the CU flag in the mail today. So I believe Buffs to the moon. But yeah, I mean, dude, I absolutely love how you've used a couple times in this show already the word boat raced because, the Buffs absolutely boat raced Utah.
They did.
And
The offense was dynamic, to say the least.
yeah, perfect timing, in the words of Shadur in his terrible rap song.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm pumped. That was an awesome win. I think the path remains alive to the playoffs.
Well, yeah. I mean,
think-
if you win the Big 12 championship, you're in. That's the only path. It's the only path. They're valuing the Big 12 as a worse conference champion than the G5 champion right now.
See, that ain't right.
I'm just saying, it is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, that's the state of affairs right now for the Big 12.
Yeah, no, it is what it is, but I really have faith that they can win this thing. I have faith that they can win the Big 12. So,
are we nervous about Kansas? I think you gotta be nervous about Kansas.
I'm probably not as much as I should be, but really, you're the only person in my life that's telling me the Jayhawks are the real deal.
Well, they just beat the other two best teams in your conference back-to-back weeks.
What do they call that? Recency bias. I don't think it's gonna come into effect against the Buffs. We got Shadur. We got a very clear Heisman top contender, for Travis Hunter. And I kind of wish he would stop striking the Heisman pose every game.
A little obnoxious in your
It's like-
opinion.
Yeah, it's like we get it. You're the Heisman, You're him,
Yeah, I
But
mean, what are the other Heisman candidates? I don't even know. Do we even know that? Is there a list out there of front runners for the Heisman?
yeah, same old quarterbacks.
Mm.
You know,
Is Dart
you
on there? Are
got
there any Ole Miss guys in here that is Dart on the Heisman hopeful?
I don't know any
Let's see.
chats on that. I
I'll
don't
look it
think.
up. Oh, the Indiana quarterback is there. That'll be an easy dub. But
Yeah, they got a bunch of
Hunter's
rando
got the best
quarterbacks.
odds right now. You boy.
Yeah. Yep. He's really, you know, he's a athlete. He's a specimen.
They're saying though, if the Indiana quarterback beats Ohio State, he might get the nod. But I think we're all forgetting about the Boise State running back, who's just a savage.
Yeah, Boise State, for whatever reason, their guy is pretty high on there.
I mean, he's got like insane rushing yard numbers, but they are playing like Schools of the Blind and Needlepoint and that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, no, I think Travis has got it if they can finish this season strong.
Yeah,
I think he's got it.
That's fair.
And yeah.
Well,
yeah, so I'm pumped to see what the next couple games has got in store, but I'm thinking, you know, Buffs to the moon.
I'm just going to tell you though, Spence, I would be nervous this weekend. I really would. And I'm not just saying that. I think I told you Kansas was going to beat BYU, and they did. I would be a little nervy.
Yeah, that's true, but
what time?
I've witnessed many miracles.
What time?
You know, I've witnessed many miracles with the Buffs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll never forget, you know, the time they came out and beat TCU. Nobody expected that.
That
is
true. That's fair. TCU was objectively just terrible, though, that year. I think they won 3 games.
Yeah, it's true. After they had been fully neutered
in the
by
national
the Buffs.
championship, yeah. Okay, yeah, fair. The Buffs did that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying, you know, they always play up. You know, I'm saying the Buffs they kind of like a good underdog fight.
Okay. Well, you know what, Spence? Big ticket. I'll be pulling for you, pal.
All right. Well, keep cashing. You know, enjoyed the breakfast segment as well. So.
All right. What's your number one breakfast item? Tell me that.
I was saying biscuits, man.
Little gooseberry jam.
Biscuits oh yeah, with jam, butter, just straight up biscuits and gravy. You know, the versatility of a biscuit. Put some chicken on the biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the ultimate Southern food. If you're talking regional favorites, though, you know, as some of you may know, I moved here from Colorado, and you get a breakfast burrito made by a real, authentic purveyor of Mexican burritos.
Okay.
And you get that with some homegrown green chili in there.
Oh, some Hatch green chilies, eh?
You get some Hatch green chilies and a breakfast burrito. There's some regional favorites, but now I'm living in the South, so it's biscuits run the game down here.
Yeah, that's true. Not a lot of California burritos out this way.
Yeah. So.
All right, BT.
Man. Well, it's been real.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
cashing.
All right.
Bye.
That was YNBT on the Buffs. We got E-Dog with the Go to Hell Buffs. Gotta love that. On to the picks, okay? This is, in fact, a gambling show at its core. So let's talk about our picks this week, shall we? Like I spoke with Jack on, I think the Ole Miss Florida game could get hairy offensively. I think it could be a little bit of a track meet, and the 55.5 is not a safe number for that game. If it was 60, I would hammer it still. Give me the over 55.5 on the Ole Miss Florida game. We all want to see fun. We all want to see points. Give me that in the swamp. I've got Boston College +3 to get bowl eligible at home. Indiana 8-2 against the spread. Do we like the 13.5? I think the 13.5 is a surgical line, Alex. I think that is Vegas saying, you know what, just take it. Just take it. They're undefeated. Just take that 13.5. What's the worst that could happen? It's kind of similar to me as the Florida 10.5 line, where I think they want you to take the Indiana bait, and Ohio State wins by 3 touchdowns. Possibly. I don't know. Again, haven't watched a lot of Indiana. I watched the Ohio State-Oregon game. I think Indiana probably takes a dump in their pants. Their coach is a hardo, and I respect him. Just Google him. He wins. But I haven't watched enough of Indiana to really know, but I think there's a chance they take a big old dump in their pants. I got Buffs, Kansas going over the 59.5. Okay. Back to Boston College. Getting bowl eligible against a bad UNC team. Okay. Give me Boston College. Give me George Costanza or whatever their quarterback's name is. Buffs, Kansas, over 59.5 track meet. Big 12, classic Big 12 track meet. Classic Big 12 track meet. Jalen Daniels for Kansas is one of the better quarterbacks in college football that is also one of just the most underperforming. Like, he is super talented. Kansas just, I don't know if it's the coach or what, but they kind of suck. They haven't the last couple weeks, but also the +3 is kind of tempting on the Kansas line. I'll just say it. It's kind of tempting. It's a little tempting. I'm sorry, big ticket. The Kansas +3 is enticing. Bama -13.5 against Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma has kind of packed it up. I think they're kind of done ski. I like the Bama 2 touchdowns. Similar to the, I don't know, 13.5. I don't know. Give me Bama. A&M -2.5 against Auburn at home. A&M's got a real shot at this thing. I mean, A&M, if they get past these games and they get to Texas, which could be a little bit of a trap game, could be a Hugh Freeze save your life game. I mean, A&M has a real shot at it. Elko's got them playing pretty well. Now, offensively, they're still a little screwy, but I was surprised at the 2.5. I really was. I was surprised at the 2.5. Again, it is a trap game for A&M, but I just think their coach is going to have them going for this one. I don't think they're going to let that happen. I've been wrong before. And they're just so freaking good at home, man. A&M, really good at home. I mean, they trounced Missouri earlier this year at home. LSU, I mean, yeah. Auburn is not better than either of those teams. So, and then I got the Vandy LSU over 53.5. These LSU guys are fighting for transferability at this point. They're just getting stats up. Vandy's going to hang in there because they're Vandy. Give me the over 53.5 in the Vandy LSU game. I almost forgot. Underdog of the week. If you need your lawn care cared for, you got to give these guys a call. 601-573-0117. Lawn Dogs of Brandon. Your boy Matt McCurley. One of the most efficient. One of the most outstanding humans, landscapers, engineers in the game. Give them a call, 601-573-0117. You don't want to wait for your grass to get unkept. You don't want to wait for those leaves to pile up, and you certainly don't want to wait to get to the back of the line. Call Lawn Dogs, 601-573-0117. Spots are filling up pretty quick from what I hear. Crazy world out there. A lot of grass. And they're not making more of it. They're certainly not making more of it. Of course, sod is in the equation there. But on to the NFL. All right. on to the NFL. I really love the college slate, and not to brag. Okay, no, I would never brag on the show. I think you all know that. I went undefeated last Saturday. Undefeated. 4-team money line parlay hit. Florida hit. Kansas hit. Washington State over hit. What else did I have? I can't remember, but I think I was like 7-0. Not to brag, like I wouldn't brag on this show, but I believe I was like 7-0. And then NFL, 6-2. So your boy was on a heater last week. I also won a $300 underdog draft, and I'm not even bragging. Like, I wouldn't brag to you guys. That's really not in my character to brag like that. But your boy won a slick $450 last weekend. You know, and some of you might say, "Wow, I mean that's substantial." To me, that's just coming back. That's just clawing back, honestly. If we're being brutally honest about how this year has gone, we clawed back last weekend. All right, we broke even. Just kidding. The underdog draft dub was huge, though. If you're not on underdog, they are not a sponsor. Maybe they should be. Get on the drafts. I suggest like the 4-game drafts. You can only you draft with 4 guys. It's like the Sunday night game, the Monday night game, and the Thursday night game. I understand, the weather with the Steelers and Browns. The Browns are giving up a ton of passing yards. Shout out to my insider Ethan on giving me that little tidbit. Jameis is gonna sling it. I mean, he is gonna sling it. We all know that. 36 is low, man. 36 is low. And I personally don't want to sweat out the 36.5. I would lean Pittsburgh, obviously. Much better team, much better coached. But yeah, I like the 36.5 in that one. And we just want points on Thursday night, right? Calling the show, 601-9771. If you have any winners for me, Lions, we can't be afraid of the Lions giant lines. All right, they're the Lions for a reason. Big lines on those guys. They are murder balling teams right now. I forget what the score was last week. It's like 52-7 or something nuts. We cannot be afraid of a 7.5 line for the Lions at this point. I think you just got to go with it. You just got to hammer the Lions at any moment. Any given week, the Lions might score 1 billion points. Now, the Texans game was rough. Goff threw a lot of picks. But give me the Lions minus 7.5. Vikings minus 3.5. I know who they're playing. Yeah, don't worry about that. I definitely know who the Vikings are playing. That's why I put it on here. How about that hockey? Huh? Who's out there watching hockey? You guys watching hockey? How about it? How about that hockey? The Bears. The Bears are in turmoil. Caleb Williams might stink, as it turns out. I think the Bears probably just stink. I think that's something about the aura of the Bears. They're just awful. I mean, they're a terrible poverty franchise, worse than the Saints. And I'll take that. I'll take that all day, honestly. But yeah, the Bears are just terrible. Give me the Vikes minus 3.5. The 8-2 Minnesota Vikings. I kind of like the Broncos. They really haven't let me down this year when I have bet on them. Maybe once. But minus 6 against the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders, I don't know. The Raiders at home may be a little more dangerous. But Bo Nix, man, got to give him credit. I didn't think Bo Nix was going to do anything in the NFL. And he turned out to be pretty decent. It might just be the Sean Payton effect. I don't know. Got to make you wonder about Drew Brees, am I right? Panthers plus 10.5. Cover against the Chiefs. Chiefs win. Obviously, the Bills took them down last week. Big Bills. That was the one I forgot on NFL. I had the Bills minus 2.5. Bills finally did it for everybody. But I think that's a sigh of relief if you're the Chiefs, right? You don't want to go undefeated in the playoffs. That's never going to happen. You're not going to go undefeated for the season. It's happened one time ever. I think the Chiefs were probably relieved to go up to Buffalo, lose to them in that situation, and probably see them again in the playoffs, right? So it'll work out for the Chiefs. I think the Panthers are playing a lot better. 10.5 at home to me off of the Chiefs loss. I think it'll just continue to be like a let's just get by Chiefs thing. Maybe they come out super fired up, but I don't know. I mean, Noah Gray went off against the Bills. If him and Travis do a lot, maybe they do something crazy, but I don't know. I think the Panthers cover the 10.5. It's super sketchy. So I if you don't trail, I don't blame you. Doing it all year, Chiefs moneyline parlay with the other teams to cover spread. Yeah, I mean it's pretty consistent. And then Seahawks +1 at home against the Cardinals. Cards have been scrappy all year. 6-4 Cardinals. This is a big divisional game between these two, and just one that the Seahawks have to match records with the Cardinals. And if the Packers beat the 49ers, that would put the Seahawks in first in the West. So I think the Seahawks get it done against the Cardinals this weekend, and the +1 is just tantalizing. And yeah, I've got the Packers. It's down to -2 to beat the 49ers. I think the 49ers are just going to end up being a nothing team this year. As crazy as it seems, I think, as talented as their roster is, they can't stay healthy and they can't, gel offensively. Debo just choking out the long snapper, pretty crazy. And, I think the Seahawks probably come out of that division this year. Or the Cardinals might be sneaky. I don't know. But I think the Niners will have a season of all right, we got to come back and regroup, and I think they'll be great next year. But they've got a few things they've got to tighten up in San Fran, including the poop situation. Let's be real. The homeless are pooping everywhere in that town. 601-706-9771. I'm probably about to wrap it up. If there's anyone out there, now I think Mulvey, you said you would. Maybe that's our solution here on Cashin. Maybe Mulvey can save the day. It's just not working out with this computer. Let's be honest. This computer stinks. I look like, what's the tomato's name on VeggieTales? Larry? That's the cucumber, huh? Thomas? Let's see. Tomato Veggie Tales. What's that guy's name? Bob? Is Bob the tomato? Come on. This computer, man. It is Bob. Friendly but slightly high-strung tomato and host of VeggieTales. Big accolade. Something to think about. 49ers cannot get away from injuries. Solid point. Hey, if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll figure out a way to be bigger and better next week. Until then, let's cash. Hey, actually, no. I'll say happy Thanksgiving next week. Peace.